This series begins in a small city named Hawkins. We see the scene of November 1983. There, in the main lab of Hawkins, a scientist was terrifyingly running. As he enters the lift, suddenly something pulls him up and takes him away. In the next scene, we watch four friends who were the main characters of the story. This includes Mike, Bill, Dustin, and another friend. They all were playing a board game at Mike's house. Meanwhile, Mike's mom, after arriving there, asked them to stop the game. That's why, after ending their games, they all left for their houses. Before going, Dustin meets Mike's elder sister. Her name is Nancy. She does not talk to him and ignores him. It was night and they were returning home. It was quite dark and Will was going home on his bicycle. Meanwhile, on the way, he suddenly witnesses the black shadow of something. After watching this, Will becomes quite afraid and confused. He quickly departs from there by taking his bicycle as a result. Because of his haste, his bicycle falls out of balance and as a result, he falls down. While after leaving his cycle there to save his life, he runs from there and hides somewhere nearby. That was actually his house and he takes a gun from there. Scarily, he points that gun at the door. Suddenly, Will also disappeared from there. The next morning, we see Will's mom and his brother. The name of Will's mom is Joyce. While conversing, both of them come to know that Will has not returned home from last night. They did not know about Will last night because actually both of them have night shift duty. Will's mom Joyce directly calls Mike's house. She asks about Will from there. Did Will stay at your house last night? Mike's mom replied, no, Will had gone from there last night. Hearing this, Joyce becomes quite concerned. Along with this, she rebukes her son Will's brother a lot. Why did you work the night shift without informing? The brother of Will relaxes his mom. Do not worry, he will be found soon. Joyce directly goes to the police station and she reports Will's missing. Hopper was the name of this police chief officer. He was a good friend of Joyce. That's why he makes Joyce understand not to be worried that much. Will might have gone to his relative's house or at his father's house because Hawkins is a small city. Here hardly any crime is being committed. Despite this, he starts to find Will on the instruction of Joyce. The next day we see three friends of Will at school. They were considering that Will might have come to school. In the next scene, we see Nancy with her friends. They were talking about the most mature boy in the college, Steve. On the other side, in Hawkins' lab, the main director enters. His name is Dr. Brenner. Because of the disappearance of that scientist, he begins to have observation after coming there. Here he was talking about something that has emerged from a strange door. The eastern portion of the lab was sealed after being separate of an hour, so the stranger could not go out from there. Dr. Brenner asked about a girl. She, after taking an advantage of the situation, has fled from the lab. Later, the girl goes to a hotel and she was quite hungry. That's why the owner of the hotel feeds her. The girl seems mysterious and strange by her looks. After being asked by the owner, the girl tells her name. She says that my name is 11. The owner did not understand anything that. Can anyone name 11? That's why the owner asks her, who are you and from where did you come? 11 did not answer anything. After seeing it, it seems as if she could not talk. Only she can probably speaks a few words. Later the owner, after calling the police, tells them about 11 so they could send her home safely. Meanwhile, we see 11 has turned off a table fan there with her eyes. After witnessing this, we can understand that 11 has superpowers. The next day, Hopper, after coming at school, he tells Will's friends that your friend is missing for the last night. That's why Hopper asks about Will from them. On the other hand, the team of Hawkins' lab reached the same hotel to find 11. Actually, the police have informed them about the current location of 11, that she is present in the hotel. That's why the people of the lab have reached there. But 11 becomes successful in feelings from there. Later, they kill the owner of the hotel. On the other side, Hopper with his team was finding Will. There, he finds Will's bicycle. On the other side, Joyce was also talking with her husband. We learn throughout this that Joyce's home phone is being tracked. At night, a search team is sent to find Will. Three of the Will's friends also goes to find Will secretly. Suddenly, 11 comes in front of them. The shocking this was that Joyce has a call that night, but nothing was audible on call. In these strange sounds, Joyce begins to hear Will's sound. She understands that her son Will has called her. Before she can talk to her son Will, her phone was damaged after being disabled due to an electrical problem. As it became late night, that's why Mike takes 11 at his house. Later he hides 11 in his room. 11 tells him with the indication that I am feeling from evil's home. During this conversation, Mike and 11 develops a friendship. Mike and his friends come to know about the superpowers of 11. Later, 11 recognizes Will after seeing a picture hung on the wall. After seeing the picture of Will, she only indicates and could not speak much. Mike understands that she probably knows and can tell that where Will is actually. She reveals that Will, after hiding from a monster, is sitting somewhere. On the other side, Joyce was telling Hopper about Will's call. Because of that, her phone was damaged. She tells Hopper that an animal sound was heard on the call. In those sounds, I hear the breathing sounds of Will. Hopper does not believe her and thinking that it might be her doubt. That's why after ignoring her, he goes to Will's father's home to find Will. After going, he comes to know that Will has not come there. He begins to suspect if any incident occurred with him. It means Will might be in danger. In the Hawkins lab, Dr. Brenner and his team are listening to recorded calls of Joyce. It was obvious that this lab and this team were somehow involved in the disappearance of Will. In the flashback, we are shown that actually Dr. Brenner is the father of 11. He was having an experiment on 11 for a long time. He was having a test on her. At night, Nancy goes to Steve's house with her friends for a party. Nancy's friend disappeared from there like that scientist. On the other side, Will's brother goes in the forest to find Will. He begins to capture pictures of different places. During this, he begins to capture pictures of Nancy and the party. On that night, Joyce once again receives the call of Will. This time, in fragile sounds, Will says mom only. The phone again becomes disabled after being damaged. Later, strange events begins to happen in the house, just like the light begins to turn on and off, and many similar incidents. In Will's room, Will's and his brother's favorite song began to play. After seeing the situation, it appears that Will is trying to notify his mother of his presence. Meanwhile, something tries to emerge from the wall, just like a monster, but it does not have any face. It was quite scary that Joyce becomes afraid to see that. She comes out of the house and sits in the car after coming there. After some time, when she enters the home again, after seeing the wall, it seems like nothing has happened here. Watching this, Joyce understands that surely something weird has happened with Will, and he is trying to talk with his mom Joyce. That's why Joyce begins to figure this out by herself. On the other side, Nancy's friend, after being disappeared, come to a weird place. Meanwhile, someone attacks her that we cannot see. Nancy learns about her friend's disappearance, but she keeps it a secret. On the other hand, Steve discovers all of the party photos in Will's brother's camera. He breaks the camera and after taking the picture from him, he tears them. Later, Nancy then collects the broken pieces of the picture. After putting the parts back together, she discovers her missing friend's monster standing behind her. To figure this out, she comes again to her friend Steve's house. Meanwhile, she sees the same monster come in front of her, which has attacked her friend and the scientist. She somehow saves her life and flees from there. On the other side, Joyce tries to contact her son with the help of light. She also has answers from Will as well in exchange. On the other side, Hoppers understand during investigation that Hawkins must be involved in some way with Will's disappearance. Additionally, he learns that a woman had previously brought a lawsuit against Dr. Brenner because he had kidnapped her daughter so he can have an experiment on her brain. Later, this case was stopped, and not only this. Additionally, the experiments done in Hawkins' lab were also passed. 11, with her powers, tells Will's friend that Will is hiding at his own house, but after some time, Will's dead body finds in a lake. Mike believes that 11 has lied to them, but after some time, 11 proves that Will is still alive. He is not died yet because she makes him hear Will's sound on Mike's walkie-talkie. Aspect for Joyce, everyone has accepted that Will has died, but Joyce was still trying to contact Will. Mom and sons have conversation on the car. Actually, Will was stuck at the same place where Nancy's friend was taken by the monster. Will talk about a monster as well while conversing with his mom Joyce. Hearing this, Joyce asks him to stay whatever you are. A prayer meeting was held at a school for Will. After being ready, 11 was also taken there. Through the school radio, 11 overhears Will and Joyce's conversation on car. Mike and his friends also confirmed that whatever 11 has said was true, that their friend Will is still alive. Through the conversation with 11, Mike and his friend finally figure this out, that Will is hidden in his house but in a different dimension. The name of this dimension is Upside Down. Actually, Upside Down is a world like our world, but it is a dark dark world because monster lives there, not humans, and these monsters are named Demogorgon. Their world has connected with our world because a gate between both dimensions has opened. Because of this, a Demogorgon has taken Will into his world after coming there, and Will is locked in upside down world. On the other side, Nancy tells Will's brother everything. This is how I have reached a Demogorgon by your captured picture. Finally, Will brothers begins to believe his mom Joyce also begins to believe in the fact that his brother is yet alive. For this reason, they go into the jungle to find Nancy's friend and Will. Nancy mistakenly reaches upside down world, but Will's brother manages to pull her out. Later, they go to Nancy's house. There, Steve watches them together and begins to jealous. On the other side, Officer Hopper makes it to Will's body. He learns that the dead body about which we are informed is not Will's real body. This is a fake body, and he meets Joyce for this reason and tells her about this all. I believe that Dr. Brenner has surely a link with Upside Down. Later, they go to the house of that lady who would failed a case against Dr. Brenner. They ask about her daughter and they learn from her that Dr. Brenner has kept her in the lab since she had born. There he has numerous experiments on their brain and informs everyone that she passed away during childbirth. Her daughter is no one else but 11. Phil's friend take their sciences teacher to understand Upside Down more clearly. Their teacher tells them that it needs a lot of energy to open any dimension. After doing this, time, space, gravity and magnetic field will be upset. Actually, the Upside Down gate was opened with the help of Hawkins' lab. After it opened, Demogorgon become activated. Hopper also learns this and he secretly goes into Hawkins' lab to find Will. After passing from Hawkins' lab and entering an upside down world, he returns back alive. On the other side, Mike's friend figures out the problem in magnetic field. He also searches out the gate to go into upside down world. Later, Mike, Dustin, 11 and another friend go to find Will. With the help of 11, they reach the place where the upside down world gate opens. During the way, 11 becomes afraid because of something, and after misleading them from the right path, she distracts them. Actually, she learns that the way to go in the upside down world ends in the Hawkins lab. She had spent a risky period of her life there. She does not want this happen to her friend that happened to her. That's why she would mislead their path to save her friends. We learn from this that only 11 has unlocked the upside down gate. She did not mean to do this, but Dr. Brenner had made her to do this by deception. Mike's friend believes 11 a fraud. For this reason, Mike and 11 have a fight. Mike yells at 11 and as a result, she goes from there angrily. 11 comes to a store for taking meal. There, after stealing the meal in front of the owner, by using her powers, she flees. On the other side, Mike, Dustin and his friend understand this, that 11 has misled and lied to them to save their life. That's why they reunion again. But the news of the store's incident has reached to Dr. Brenner. That's why he comes with his team to Mike's house to capture 11. That's why the children have to run from there. To survive, they hide in a bus. After some time, Hopper arrives on that bus and rescues the children. It directly takes them to Joyce's house. Joyce and Hopper, after seeing 11, understand that this girl is the daughter of the lady who would fail a case against Dr. Brenner. With the help of 11, they figure out the location of Will in the upside down world. On the other side, Joyce and Hopper reach Hawkins' lab. They can then go from there to upside down and bring Will back. This time, Hopper was caught. This time, Hopper makes a deal with Dr. Brenner. If you let both of us go in upside down, in return, I will let you know the address of 11. And the truth of your lab will never be disclosed to anyone. Dr. Brenner agrees and permits Hopper and Joyce to enter the upside down. After Brenner, along with his team, to capture 11, reaches her school, the place where the 4 children were hidden. On the other side, Nancy and Will's brother understand that Demogorgon are a threat toward the blood. That's why they make a plan that they will make a trap for Demogorgon so they can come to our house. We will kill them as they are caught in the trap. On the other side, Joyce and Hopper finally find Will. A Demogorgon comes into Will's house after smelling the flesh. After coming there, he attacks Nancy's and Will's brother. He was going to eat Will's brother when Steve comes just in time to save him. The Demogorgon falls into that trap during the fight with Steve. By this, Will's brother fires him and the Demogorgon dies there. On the other side, Hopper and Joyce exit the upside down after taking Will safely. Later, Dr. Brenner approaches 11. Meanwhile, we see a Demogorgon arrives at the school. Taking advantage of this situation, 11 kills many people there. After taking her friends from there, she hides in a room. Here, the monster begins to kill the people of Brenner, the people who would open the gate for this monster. Even the Demogorgon kills Dr. Brenner. Demogorgon, while finding the 4 children, reaches into that room because having no other way to save Mike and her friends. 11, by using her superpowers, 11 kills the Demogorgon. But along with this, she also disappeared from there. As Joyce and Hopper has rescued Will from the lab. For this reason, Will has been kept in the hospital for some days. After some days, he fully recovers. After some days, we see Will vomiting and a strange insects emerge. After this, Will has a vision of upside down, but he kept it secret and does not tell anyone. The next scene, Hopper hides 11's favorite food in a deserted area. That if 11 ever returned here, Hopper would learn that 11 is still alive. And the first season ends here. I hope you guys like this season. Please tell us in the comment section. Stay with us, stay connected, and thanks for watching.